everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me MG if you'd like, and today I'm starting a little challenge type thing, I guess. Basically, I have recently started drafting Whimsy, which is my silly little self-indulgent fantasy romance duology. I'm working on book 1 right now, and I'm having a great time with it, but it is going quite slowly. In the past week, I've written about 4,000 words, which is great. Like, that's fantastic progress, but it is quite slow for my usual writing pace. I tend to be a fast writer, but this is starting a new draft. It is completely different from the last project I worked on, so it's just kind of slow going out the gate. This is not helped by the fact that this past month I started working not quite full-time, but almost full-time again, and so I find myself having a lot less time to do things like writing. So I figured I would challenge myself because I have 2 days off in a row this week, which is exciting. So I think I'm going to try and write a whole chapter each day because I've only written the first 2 chapters of this draft, and they were both a little over 2,000 words. And I think 2,000 words in a day is definitely doable for me, but at this point in time is a little bit of a push. So it'd be a challenge, but doable and fun, you know? And I'm filming it to hold myself accountable. Now, it is already noon, so I did not get to write at all this morning. I've just kind of had a lot going on, but we are going to write today. This is chapter 3, and it is from Angel's POV. Angel is my female main character. My male main character is Gilfire. Angel has the odd number chapters, and Gilfire has the even number chapters. So we are back in Angel's POV for this one, and I am very excited. We get to meet a couple more like side characters that are important to Angel's story, and I'm excited to introduce them. So yeah, I am going to try and write the entirety of chapter 3 today and take you guys along for the ride, give you updates along the way on how it's going. So why don't we just get on that? So it has been approximately 2 hours since I filmed that intro clip. I fell asleep literally right here in my office chair. I guess I'm tired. I didn't feel tired, but now that I'm awake, I do. Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. Anyway, I haven't gotten any writing done, obviously, because I fell asleep. But now I'm gonna start writing, and I will come back with an update in a little while. Written about a page of chapter 3, and it pushed me over the 5,000 word mark in the draft, so that is enough for a little bit of a celebration. I think I'm just gonna get a snack and watch like 5 minutes of YouTube before I get back into things. Okay, friends, first of all, disclaimer, it has started storming since I last updated you, so you might hear the sound of rain coming down. It has slowed down a little bit, but it is going to pick up any second now, I just know it. I have gotten about 45 minutes of writing done. That is about the length of my playlist for this project. Technically, the playlist is 48 minutes, but I know that there was a little bit of messing around on my end. I wasn't diligently writing every second of the playlist, but with the songs and like the ad breaks, because I don't pay for Spotify Premium, I estimate I got about 45 minutes of good work in, and I wrote 1,208 words in that time, which is phenomenal. I'm definitely picking up the pace. So I consider that to be some great work done. I would say, a little bit past halfway through this chapter, according to my index card where I wrote down all the stuff I wanted to happen. I feel like I've covered most of the things on here. I just have a little bit to go, so I don't know if it'll take another whole 45 minutes or whatever to finish this chapter, but I'm going to take a little break again. I know I did take a teeny tiny baby break earlier, but I'm going to take a slightly more substantial one, and I think I'm going to try and stay in the mood for my writing during this break. Like, I'm going to get something to snack on because I love snacking, if you didn't know. But I'm going to, I think, work on some Instagram slides for a post that will be about this project. Maybe I'll make it about my playlist, because not to toot my own horn, I think this is a great playlist. I think it captures the vibes of the story super well. Wow, I just noticed how awful the bags under my eyes are. Wow, no wonder I fell asleep on accident in my fucking chair. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, maybe I'll work on those slides to post to Instagram within the next couple of days, and then once I've had a substantial enough break, I will get back to writing and finish up this chapter, I guess, and then I will see you then to give you my overall update for the day, for the writing sesh, so I'll see you then. Okay, friends, I am back, and the day has continued to not go as planned, but that's fine. Basically, what happened was I was doing my little break, and I realized I had some chores to get done, so I was like, I might as well do that. And then after the chores, I ended up eating dinner, and then after dinner, I took a shower. But then, after my shower, as you saw, I did get back to writing, and I finished chapter 3. It took me just under half an hour to finish up the chapter. It is a little bit shorter than the first two chapters have been. This chapter 3, tops out at 1,996 words, which is still pretty impressive, especially considering that during my two writing chunks, I was writing for less than an hour and a half. So clearly, I'm just in my own way, and that's why things have been going so slowly. Like, I am very obviously capable of writing more. I just haven't been. But that is what this challenge is for, to remind myself that I can do that. But this chapter is now finished, which means I'm done writing for today because I hit my goal. I will be back tomorrow to see if I can do it again, because a one-off thing isn't the greatest, example of what I can do, but if I can do it 2 days in a row, then perhaps I can make a habit of it. Of course, after tomorrow, I do have work 3 days in a row, and I don't think I'm going to be able to write an entire chapter each day when I'm working, because A, that takes up time, and B, working is very tiring. If you didn't know, I work at an ice cream shop, and it is quite physically demanding, more so than you might expect, but it's kind of a tiring job, so I expect to get less writing done on those days, but if I can then balance that out with writing more on days off, I'll have this draft done in no time. So that is the plan, to come back tomorrow and write chapter 4, and I will see you then. Hello, friends. It is 10 a.m. on the second and final day of this challenge, and I'm ready to go. I'm not gonna fall asleep in my chair this time. I promise. I have too much going on today to do that. I've just got to do like grocery shopping, and I have to call my dad because it's his birthday, and then later on tonight I have plans with a friend, but I'm gonna write this chapter. It's gonna be my priority for right now. I don't think it'll be a particularly long chapter. I was looking at the index card for it, and the gist of it is just my male main character, Gilfire, on the train to go from his family estate back to the city that he attends wizard school in, basically. I did remember that I used a phrase in his first chapter, so 2 chapters ago, that I meant to use a different phrase. I was in bed last night and it's like, oh, I called it independent study, but independent study is a different thing for wizard school. He's doing an apprenticeship, so I do have to change that. But yeah, he's just gonna be on the train. We're gonna do some world building and some groundwork for who he is as a character, and that's the basis of this chapter. So I don't think it'll take a lot of time or effort. We're gonna hope I didn't just jinx myself by saying that, and I am going to get right on it. Alright, friends, it is now 1 p.m. and I have an update for you. That update is I have just surpassed 1,000 words for the day, and I know it's been several hours since I talked to you and I've only written 1,000 words. What happened to trying to get more work done? It's because I had a bunch of other stuff going on. I swear I picked these 2 days because I had 2 days off in a row and thought that I could get a lot of work done, and then they ended up being 2 extremely busy days. It's fine. But I talked to my dad on the phone because it's his birthday, and we ended up talking for almost an hour. And then I went grocery shopping, so that took up some time, and had lunch. But, like I said, I have also been writing and got 1,000 words in this chapter, and it's going differently than I thought it would. Like, it's still the scene that I meant it to be, but the actual details of what's going on are different. I have no idea how long it's going to end up being. I said that I thought this was going to be a short one, but maybe it won't be. I'm not going to know until I finish it. So I'm going to continue writing and give you another update depending on how long it goes, maybe at the end of the chapter, or maybe before then, if I'm going to say, like, hey, it's going a lot longer than expected, but really, I have no idea. Thus is the nature of writing. It kind of just comes out as it does, and I'm just along for the ride. So I will get more work done. I have about 3.5 hours to do stuff before I have to do other things with my day. So I'm going to buckle down and get this chapter finished, and then I will come talk to you. Okay, so my phone died, so I did not get any B-roll, but I promise I have in fact finished this chapter. It's like 2:30, by the way, and I did it. I finished this chapter. I don't know what I was on about earlier, talking about the length of it, because this ended up being like exactly the same length as the other chapters. It is 2,258 words, so they are all pretty even, which is strange because in all of my other projects, the chapter lengths tend to vary quite a bit. So I don't know what's going on here, if this pattern's gonna hold or whatever, but it's just an interesting thing that I've noted. But this chapter was quite fun, actually. It's like a nice little lull, because the previous chapter with Angel is kind of stressful for her, whereas this one, Gil is very anxious in this because he's interacting with people and he's an anxious boy, but it's still very chill, and we get some, not like exposition, like it's not like a lore dump, at least I don't think it is, but we get some information on how magic works in this world, and we get some character backstory for Gil, some motivations that he has, and I enjoyed this. It's a very simple chapter, but I think it's fun. So, yeah, I was looking at my next couple of index cards, and I feel like we might be getting a little bit slow in this first section. Like, I feel like we should get to the action a little bit faster, but I do have a couple more chapters to get through, and I could probably, like, combine some of these earlier chapters to, like, get to that action faster, but this is just a first draft, so none of that matters right now. Like, that is all for me to do later. It's just a little note that I'm filing in the back of my mind for eventually when I get to a second draft, but overall I am very happy with my progress over these past couple of days. I've proved to myself that I can sit down and work even when life gives me a million things to distract me, but I can get quite a bit of work done. I think that was a bus that just drove past, but okay. So definitely a good challenge, a successful challenge, I think. Let me know if you want to see more chill little vlogs like this. I'm thinking I might want to try a 5K day. I've only done that like 2 or 3 times in my entire life as a writer. If you don't know, a 5K day is just writing 5,000 words in a day, and clearly I'm capable of doing just about half of that consistently. I don't know if I can use that word when it's only 2 days in a row, but I think a 5K day would be fun, or like a 10K weekend where I give myself 2 to 3 days to write 10,000 words. But yeah, let me know if that's something you guys would want me to vlog for you to take you along with me. But we have now come to the end of this video, and if you've enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone!